Broadcasting from Hollywood, California, it's Grant's Rants, Hollywood Talk.
A lot of people are unhappy with Lisa Vanderpump and her potential new project. Paris Hilton recreates my favorite image. Later, Granny June Flori calls in to rant about Danielle Staub's 21st engagement. Then, Leaving Neverland comes to HBO and Tim Murdock joins the Rants. The ranting begin. I am joined by Tim Murdock. Hello, a podcast host over at Happy Horror Time Podcast, here to rant. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
And I'm going to start introducing myself on this show. I'm Grant Rudder, the host of the show. I don't know. I feel like I should introduce myself.
Yes, definitely.
A podcast producer and pop culture aficionado. Here I am with Tim, and we're ready to rant. Let's go.
I'm ready.
We know each other through social media.
Yes, the Twitter.
Mm-hmm. And you happen to live not only in California, not only in LA, but in West Hollywood.
I could walk here. I walked here. I actually walked in LA. Yeah.
That's funny because I even asked, I was like, are you even in LA? And of course, you're literally around the corner. That's weird and funny, but it's great because there's so many great podcasters here, who all know their stuff. So we're going to put you to the test.
Please do. Test away.
Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Now, I'm so irritated with Lisa Vanderpump at this point. Yes, I'm a hater. I'm not a troll, but I'm a hater. And even the sight of some of the pictures, I get annoyed with her because there's just she's got such strong fans on one end, and then I'm kind of on the other end with a lot of other people. How do you feel about Lisa in general?
I am a fan of Lisa Vanderpump because I love all three of her restaurants on Santa Monica Boulevard. I love Vanderpump Rules. But I will say that I understand her. She's still grieving over her brother's death.
Yeah.
So it's maybe she could have taken a season off or done less, because I know when you're grieving, it's hard for you to function in day to day. So I actually, a perfect example is when all the ladies were in the water and Lisa was not in the water. Didn't it feel like a grandma watching her children?
It did.
That's what I thought. I was like, oh, seems like maybe she's, oh, do I dare say it? It's like Kids Incorporated. She's aged out of the show.
It's possible.
I don't know. Am I an ageist? I feel bad even saying that because I love Lisa Vanderpump.
The thing is, you're right. She should have taken a season off. I mean, the bottom line is she's got all these businesses. She's worth a reported $75 million.
Right.
I get it. Someone on Twitter was like, well, Grant, people have bills to pay. And I was like, I get it, but this woman's worth $75 million. I mean, if she missed a season of The Real Housewives.
Right. And then it would even be
come on.
better and bigger when she comes back. when American Idol leaves for a while, and then it comes back and it's there's more hype. And
what
it's
an
better.
unfortunate hour of American television. Don't even get me started with that.
I don't even watch that show, but I love Ryan Seacrest.
Really? Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about him anymore. There's been so much said about him. I don't know where he stands in the Me Too
he just broke up with his girlfriend, and everyone was like, "We didn't even know he had a girlfriend."
Right. Yeah, same. I saw that on page 6. Anyway, now this is supposed to be a project in the works, according to page 6. Once again, we are again Vanderpump Dogs. An insider said the project is, quote, not a spinoff and could just be a special. It's in development. Now, this is very normal in entertainment to have a one-off pilot. Sizzle reel is what they call them. It can be 20 minutes, and it's just a profile on what could be if this was a show.
Aren't we getting that right now with Lucy Apple Juicy or whatever?
Yeah,
whole season's going to be about this dog. So I feel like Vanderpump Dogs has really come to the show already.
Well, it's funny you say that because the women, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, feel like they're being played by the producers and Lisa Vanderpump to now showcase this as a potential show. They feel like they're being cast in her show.
Well, the two looking employees that she has, the two guys, they were microphoned, right?
Yes.
So it's already they're saying it's not a setup, but if someone's mic'd, they've got something to say. So Lisa Rinna is right. I know you don't like Lisa Rinna, right?
I don't mind her. It depends on the day. I mean, I like her a hell of a lot more than I like Lisa Vanderpump.
I love Lisa Rinna and Lisa Vanderpump. I love them all.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to like Erica Jane right now because she pushed the bowl like a 12-year-old. But I loved it because it was very dramatic.
I honestly wasn't mad at Erica Dane in that moment.
It was great because finally, and I love that all the ladies were kind of looking away and Denise Richards, like everyone's kind of realizing like, oh, okay, we're really just hanging out at the beach. We need to bring something to the table, literally.
Well, yeah, I mean, Lisa Vanderpump's looking real bad, but yet people are sympathetic to her. I mean, I guess I got to say it because you're going to be so sensitive these days. But of course, I recognize that her brother did pass, and obviously she's going through things. But again, then get off the show. I mean, take time for yourself.
Yeah.
Why are you there on vacation and all this stuff if you're just going to ruin it for everyone? I mean, she's like a big dark cloud.
Absolutely.
Unhappy, clearly doesn't want to be there, fulfilling. But I mean, at the same time, like she's on a private island in the Bahamas. Like, I mean, if life is that bad, then just stay home.
It's a vacation. Like even on a vacation, you can pull it together and paid for.
Come on. So I really am not happy about this Vanderpump Dogs project. And neither of the women, apparently the housewives, except for LVP, got together at Craig's to discuss how unhappy they were.
Have you been to her Vanderpump Dogs place?
I haven't been, no.
It's cute. It's fun.
Yeah, I've heard good things. I just don't have a dog. I have no reason to go. But, whatever. Dr. John Cisa, he was on the show called On the Rocks, and it had a podcast guest host on this show, Ali Levine, who's a celebrity stylist. And I was like, oh, small world, funny. She was there and some other random from Big Brother, and this came up. This article, I'm surprised, hasn't gotten more play because this is really kind of, in his words, setting the record straight. Again, for those listening, we're talking about Lisa Vanderpump perhaps setting up these two guys, again, as you mentioned, Tim, mic'd up, ready to talk.
And camera ready. Yeah. I will say if I remember they were both cute, I don't know. Well, one was really cute. And the
I
other,
went to dinner with one of them, but in a group.
But
Johnny Blizzard or whoever he is.
Teddy, right?
Yeah, that one.
Okay,
yeah.
Connection.
That's about the only one. We have some mutual friends. I don't really know him personally. But this is what the other John, who runs Vanderpump Dogs, says. Quote, "This is what upsets me. Everyone thinks Lisa planted this. This is reality TV meeting real world. I got the location agreement on Wednesday. This happened on a Sunday, and we had to film the following Thursday. So Lisa is in the middle trying to open Tom, trying to open the Vegas location, let that they're doing. And so literally that Monday, she got on a plane to go to Vegas while I'm screaming at her. I even have the text message from Lisa. And again, no one would know this. Lisa said, shut this down at 9:45 and we were filming at 10. And honestly, I am not going to, because how am I supposed to be an executive director, doctor of international business for a foundation that is international? We're in 6 countries, and I'm supposed to say, oh, when something bad happens that involves a celebrity, we just push that under the rug. That doesn't work that way.
Wow. That's a quote, if I've ever heard one.
There's a lot to unpack there. I mean, the production schedule, the rollout. I mean, all this happened within days of each other. Again,
Kyle walking out.
I can't imagine this Dr. John walking up to production saying, I need a mic pack on me, and I need a mic guy on me, and you need to, because there's a whole team there.
Yeah.
So this is clearly part of the scene. So I blame Lisa Vanderpump, completely, like Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, Lisa Rinna said it was a setup, and it all signs point to a setup.
Yep.
So, I will say, thank goodness, though. I mean, if Lisa Vanderpump does anything right, besides open restaurants, she makes for good television. Mm-hmm. Other women aren't bringing it. As much as I love Denise Richards, not much is going on.
No, there's not much going to come out of her, I can tell you right now. I'm disappointed in the whole thing. And my final thought around the whole dog situation, Lisa Vanderpump, the Kemsleys, they should have paid the $5,000 fee that was attached as a, what is it, like a...
it's like a penalty fee?
Penalty fee, yeah, for not returning the dog to Vanderpump Dogs. They should have paid it, and Lisa Vanderpump should have said, our business is done, and that should have been the end of it. No. But I blame her for letting it go on, and of course, Dorit didn't do the right thing in the beginning, but we established that, yet no one can move on. They should have paid it and been done. There should have been no favors, because that caused animosity with this John over at Vanderpump, which then caused all this firestorm. So if you just stick to the contract, you won't have all this mess.
Yeah.
We have a big Bold and the Beautiful fan on the show today.
I am a huge Bold and the Beautiful fan. She's coming on the show to play Flo's mother, the girl that used to be on 30 Rock. I don't know her real name, but you know who I'm talking about, right? The pretty blonde girl from 30 Rock is now on the Bold and the Beautiful, and she's going to play her mother. It's exciting. Her episode probably doesn't air for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, she'll be on April 3rd on the show. And Denise, joins a long line of other housewives who have made appearances on soaps, which is good. I mean, this is our first daytime role, right? So
Yeah. And you notice, remember back in the day when Andy Cohen was like, I don't think we should have actresses or even Beverly Hills as a show. And now look, they're all actresses and there's Beverly Hills exists.
And if you look at other shows like Atlanta, they're pulling on other people who are influencers and models.
Yeah.
And, these people who have old music careers. And yeah, I mean, it really kind of switched, which is all right. So she's going to play opposite Wayne Brady on The Bold and the Beautiful. I'm actually curious. I'm a longtime soap viewer, so I'll have to tune in and see how Denise does.
Yeah.
I'll have to see how she does.
She'll be fine.
How do you feel about stunt casting? Like, does it really make a difference?
I'm a huge fan of stunt casting.
Really?
Yes. Like, I mean, just because, it probably doesn't work, but you're like excited to see these people. Like Denise Richards was in Valentine in 2001 and Wild Things in 98 and like when was she, and James Bond in 99. So it's like we haven't seen her in like 20 years. So she's still pretty, she's still funny, and and oh my gosh, her new husband, not Charlie Sheen. Wow, there's a wow factor. So I'm intrigued to see her do anything. Mm-hmm. Do you miss Brandy?
Well, I'm looking forward to her coming on.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
She's all I have to hang on to. Kim too, I guess.
Oh, I love Kim. I love Kim. And I think Kyle this year, not that it's a story related, but I think she looks beautiful this year.
I am loving all the Twitter engagement I've been getting. Thank you, everyone, for following me over there. I mean, I've just been putting out a lot of stuff about Beverly Hills, and people are really into it. I put out one video where I called out that they really weren't like taking first class all the way, as Dorit said.
Oh, yeah.
And that they were in Miami, Florida, the flew commercial. And I love that people like just ate that up. So for all the new people checking out this show, thank you. And I hope you hang out because there's a lot to talk about. So thanks. Let's make a transition to Paris Hilton. Now, someone I don't talk enough about on the show. I don't know if anyone's interested, but I am.
I love her. Did you watch her show, Paris's BFF?
Oh, yeah.
I wonder if she's still BFFs with that kid.
I looked it up actually like 6 months ago.
Did?
And they still like they follow each other on all the socials, and she'll comment on a lot of his posts. So I guess they really are friends.
Oh, that's good. I watched all the episodes.
Yeah.
I was interested.
I watched the American Meme documentary. It came out at the beginning of this year of 2019, and it was a lot of Paris. And I really kind of it was kind of sad, and she was very like stoic in it as far as like how she feels about this culture.
When did she peak? In 2008?
Yeah, around that. That was the
love
golden
Paris
era.
Hilton. Yeah.
And so much so, behind you, I point this out to so many people, but I have the photo framed in my apartment of Paris, Linsday, and Britney.
Wow.
In the car.
I'm looking at it now.
And that, to me, is very iconic in every way. And I love that image. And it was recently recreated at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Paris, the only original one left, to appear in said photo. The original was taken in 2006.
Okay.
So it's been a minute. Linsday, it came out, I'm sure people found this out. She was, Paris was interviewed over on Andy Cohen's radio show, and she said that Linsday just crashed.
Jumped in the car.
Yeah, just
and
jumped
you could tell. She's like, oh, what should I be here?
Yeah. And it was only like a 2-seater, so like Britney was like just like kind of hanging out. And I love the picture, and it was recently redone, and the caption says, oops, we did it again. And it's really, the new one is a mess. It's complete with a fake Queen Elizabeth in drag, I guess. And then Britney Spears impersonator Derek Barry is there, and they're in front of the Beverly Hills Hotel. And I was just there 2 weeks ago, and I wish my timing was better because I would have loved to have witnessed this.
2 shots. What are your thoughts? I mean, like, do you love that Paris redid this?
Well, I mean, the new one, it's like a joke. Yeah, I do.
But like she paid actors to do it?
Did she?
That's what I thought I read, right?
Oh, I didn't read that part.
I thought I read that. Rumors and hearsay. I'm just going to believe it's true.
I mean, it would be within the realm of possibility. I mean, having like a Queen Elizabeth impersonator just hanging out happened to be at the Beverly Hills Hotel might not be. No, I'm agreeing with you.
No, I don't know.
That might not be like the norm. So maybe she did bring them in, but I don't know why she would do it there and like all that. I don't know. It was interesting.
Yeah, no, I mean, 2006. I mean, like, I don't know. Do you think it's like so desperate of Paris to like recreate her heyday?
I don't know. I mean, I'm eating it up. So.
Oh, me too. I love it, but I think not everyone remembers 2006 Paris. You know, I mean, I think my nieces would be like, Who's Paris?
Oh my God, that's so sad.
I know.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Well, I just wanted to quickly acknowledge this photo, this recreation is out there. And, I'm for it. I'm hanging on to that era of the trifecta as much as I can.
I love it.
I'm still waiting for Britney to come back and do this show that she canceled. And I'm pulling for Lindsay. I'm still watching. Tweet me if you're watching this Lohan Beach Club.
I watched the first episode and I watched the after show with Jonathan Bennett. He was like on level 10 of enthusiasm, and like she's on maybe 1.
I'm always about an episode or 2 behind. Like, it's not can't miss TV
I
for
love
me.
that you kept up with it. I gave it 1, but I did watch all of Oprah's Lindsay.
Oh, me too. Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah. I actually went back and watched old clips of that just to see like the Lindsay today versus the Lindsay like 6 years ago.
Right.
And she seems happier, but I don't know if she's any more focused. But
that's hilarious.
Anyway, when we come back, a special phone call. Granny June called in, and she had a lot to say about the Real Housewives of New Jersey reunion. And then we'll be back more with Tim. We got a lot more to talk about. I have stuff to say about this Leaving Neverland documentary.
Oh, yeah.
That and more in a moment. Now this.
You're listening to Grant's Rants. Subscribe and spread the word. There are a lot more rants to come. Listen anytime on all major podcasting platforms. And now, back to the show.
And we're back here with Tim Murdock back on the Rants.
That's me.
And we're going to talk about Real Housewives of New Jersey. Have you watched this season?
Not faithfully. I mean, yeah. I know that someone was pushing a pool and she walked by and she goes, I pushed him in the pool, and Danielle Staub, they're all wearing sequins and
yeah. I was very impressed with this season. I'm actually kind of sad that it's like wrapping up because it was just kind of a nice show to have on. Like, it delivered for me. It was entertaining. Hard to do these days for Housewives, I feel. So
especially New Jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Played out.
Yeah, I agree. But it has some new life to it. And I have a quick call. I had a call with my grandmother to talk about the reunion and a little bit about Danielle. And let's give it a listen. I have fan favorite and granny to me, Granny June Flori, on the line, calling in from Rhode Island. Hello, Sage Granny.
Hey, how are you? How's everybody? I'm hanging in here with a bad winter. Very, very cold and snowy, and I'm stuck in the house, but I've been doing okay so far.
I understand you've been busy watching The Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Oh, yes, yeah.
They're in reunions right now. I really enjoyed this season a lot, so I'm kind of sad to see it ending. How do you feel about the season? Were you entertained at least?
I was entertained. There was a lot of backbiting and foul language and a lot of fighting amongst them, especially with Teresa. She's very, very touchy this year, more so than ever.
Yeah.
She takes offense at any little thing that might happen.
I was talking with my sister, Alyssa, and she was saying that the behavior of Teresa was really, like, surprising and like, a mess.
I think she's just about had it. And she's got to face the fact that her husband might be deported to Italy, although I don't see why he would be. There's so many people in this country that aren't here legally, so I don't know why he would be sent to Italy. He's been hardworking in this country for a long time, although he did mess up and have to go to jail, which doesn't look too good for him. But, I mean, she's very difficult sister-in-law for Melissa.
Yeah.
She picks on her constantly, and that Jackie, she won't put up with any of Teresa's crap, so they don't get along at all.
Yeah,
really the vicious.
I appreciate Jackie. I think every time Jackie argues at Teresa, she makes Teresa look so ignorant. I mean,
she does.
Jackie's a lawyer and a writer, but then Danielle. Not Danielle. Teresa's over there. You're not, feeling compassionate or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. She said, I lose brain cells when I talk to you.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Teresa just says, you're a blogger. Like, all they do is just rip each other down. But
I know it. She said she was a stalker.
Yeah.
A stalker because she kept up with the Housewives. And years ago, she happened to go in and have Teresa sign her book. And then when she accused her of not writing the book, I thought Teresa would come out of her skin.
Yeah.
God, she went spastic when she said, "You didn't even write the book."
Well, that's people have said that forever. So I'm glad that it finally got to Teresa's face, because people feel that way going years back. So
yeah,
there's these two couches. You've got Margaret, Melissa, and Jackie on one, and then you've got Teresa, Dolores, and then the other one, who I can't stand.
Jennifer.
Yeah, on the other one. So I think the one to the left, the one with Margaret, is the one with like people with their 2 feet on the ground, like the normal couch, you know?
Yes.
That Dolores, I mean, she is just drinking that Kool-Aid. She is so far up Teresa's behind, it's ridiculous. Jennifer is living on her own planet, and Teresa's just a mean girl. So, I mean, I would rather be on the left side.
Yeah, that Jennifer, God, she is off the wall. She's very childish in a way. You can tell that she hasn't really been out in the world that much, because she comes out with the stupidest things. In a way, I kind of like her because of her stupidity. She comes out with things that really are crazy. And I almost had a fit when Teresa's brother Joe came out and asked her, "Are you using that thing in your drawer?" I mean, come on.
Yeah, she even had to name the vibrator.
That is ridiculous. I mean, to ask something like that on national television.
Well, to your own sister.
I know. Oh, Jesus.
When they asked Teresa about her not wearing a wedding ring and things like that, she claims she really kind of fluffed it off, and they got individual shots of all the women. That to me was very telling, the way that she responded to that question. I didn't believe that she would ever step out on him, but the fact that she's going around holding hands with other guys and not wearing her wedding ring amongst all the stuff of the deportation, I do believe that she's stepping out on the husband. After watching the reunion, I'm convinced.
Really? She went into that program where she got herself all fixed up, with her body. I know it's a bodybuilding thing and they look at things differently, but still in all, it was very sexy, very sensual. Mm-hmm. But to me, it seems so improper for a woman that has grown children to expose herself like that. And she didn't win. She came in third.
Ooh, look at you keeping track.
I don't think it was a very good thing to do when your husband is in jail and everybody knows that you don't have your husband at home.
Right. Well, I want to get your thoughts on Danielle Staub. Now, I don't believe that you've been keeping up with the story, so I want to get your organic thoughts and opinions. So Danielle finalized her divorce from the husband, Marty, who we saw this season on the show. The divorce was finalized February 21st, and 10 days later, she's now re-engaged to a new man. This is her 21st engagement. They met in October.
Oh, God. Oh, I think this is a business with her then. This is her business. This is a business proposition.
Yeah.
Where does she find all these men?
I don't know.
She's not that good looking. How does she get all these men to marry her and engage to her?
She's got a minimum of 21.
Oh, Lord.
So now apparently her daughters stepped in. They're in their young 20s, and they encouraged her to hold off because she was supposed to get married this coming Monday, which means she would have an engagement of like 4 days. And then the daughters stepped in and were like, we need you to like not do that and think about this. So because of that, she's holding off, but she's still engaged.
Oh, Lord.
She's with this French guy. His name is Oliver Millet. He was, I believe I'm saying that correctly. He's a Duke of Provence. His family owns 15 vineyards and 2 castles in the south of France. And by him being considered a duke, she will now receive a title of Duchess.
Oh, God. Duchess. Oh, Lord. There's got to be something wrong with her. Definitely. I mean, to keep doing things like this, it's like an obsession. She I don't know how she finds these men and drags them into giving her engagement rings. Talk about ruining the image of Duchess. Jeez. How long is she going to hang on to this one?
Well, now this article that I read somewhere said that she's going to split her time between New York and Paris. So I think she'll give him a lot of time, meaning like, a good chunk of time, because that's a whole lifestyle change for her, and she's going to like that.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah, really.
Good luck to him.
Who knows?
She must be a real maneuverer.
Well, I mean, without judging, it looks that way. Anyway, thank you for giving me your take on the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Danielle.
Oh, anytime.
We'll have to see what happens to Engagement 21. I'll be watching on Grant's Rants as always. Thanks, Granny.
Oh, you're welcome. And say hi to all my fans out there.
We will.
Thanks for asking me.
So, Tim, what do you make of this Danielle Staub engagement? Now it's a little bit on hold.
It's got to be hard out there to be a reality star. Everyone knows your business automatically. And then you have the added bonus of being Danielle Staub. Like, how do you meet people? How do you get engaged again? Like, what was it, a week?
I don't feel too bad about the privacy because she's loving it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, she's
absolutely.
loving it. I was wondering how they met too, and I was like, "What the hell does she do?" Like, she just
blackmail.
But she met him apparently in an article that said that he pursued her at a hotel bar or something like that, and then like he kept kind of pushing the issue. She thought it was too soon, but then she ended up making out with him, and then they got together real quick. So whatever, I don't know.
Here's the thing about Danielle. I think she's up for anything. I mean, remember when she was a lesbian for a minute?
Yeah.
So I mean, like, and now she's engaged. Like, she's open. She's out there. And remember when she did Famous Food?
Oh yeah.
I actually went to that restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
I think it's Equinox now, which is weird.
Yes, it's Equinox. But I went there, and she wasn't there that night. But anyway, good for Danielle Staub for doing all these things and being so open to the world.
She is busy than most of us.
Absolutely.
I mean, just keeping it moving.
She's gigging.
There's been a lot of buzz, a big lead up to this HBO documentary, a 2-part series, Leaving Neverland. It was plucked from Sundance Film Festival. The only thing around it is that it's controversial. That's what the big word. And I'm actually really kind of excited to see this. I do feel like I have to brace myself. They say that it really doesn't cover anything up. Like, it really goes there. It's very graphic. I feel like I had enough of Michael Jackson, but I'm sucked back in. What do you think?
My DVR is set. I watched the trailer. I don't know why these two guys, it's two guys, right?
Yeah.
Coming forward.
Yep. Wade Robson and Jimmy Safechuck.
Like, it's not, they're not like Housewives. They're not doing it for fame. They just want to get their story out there. So it's like, if you want to be known for something, I don't think you're going to want to be known for this.
Yeah. So you're saying like, their intentions are not lined with like fame and money and fortune.
I don't know why you'd lie for a quick HBO paycheck. I don't know. I feel like
they claim they're not seeing any money from this.
Oh, that's great.
Which is important to say. I mean, that's what they claim. I do not know. But I think that's really important to say. Like, yeah, we're doing this with no financial gain. That would legitimize them. There's been a lot said about this.
It's 2 hours, no commercials.
Yeah.
It's HBO. Like, I'm excited. Like I remember when all this was happening. When was it? Like 93. Michael Jackson was being accused. Allegedly,
and up until the early 2000s.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
I didn't know it went on so long,
came
but
back around. Yeah,
I didn't follow it as a kid.
I followed it because this was the Bouchier interview was like a huge moment for me because that was the first time like I just kind of followed something all the way through. Then the Michael Jackson trials. I remember I found out the verdict on the radio. I was in my friend's bedroom in Cranston, Rhode Island, Hightalia, and we were listening to like the local like 92 Pro FM, and they announced like the jury how they found him guilty, not guilty.
But he didn't do any time, right? Michael Jackson did no time.
No, I don't remember what it was, but I just remember that was like such a big moment, like gathering around the radio to hear the judgment.
Yeah, I mean that's the reason we're all tuning in is like we want to see the receipts. I mean, like yes, it's like how many years ago? It was like over 20 years ago. So like these two guys are now full grown men and they're going to talk about their time hanging out at Neverland. It's actually really, really fascinating because Michael Jackson, he clearly had family issues and dad issues. So there's so much to unpack that it's going to be good. I mean, I'm talking like I've seen it. I haven't seen it.
Well, I haven't seen it either, but I feel like I know so much about it because there's been so many interviews and a lot leading up to this. So the Today Show had on the director, Dan Reed, and CBS This Morning had Wade and Jimmy, and they had a really kind of tough interview by Gayle King. She was, I will give her some credit too. She was very objective, a real journalist. She didn't take anyone's side. Like, it's very rare to see that these days, where usually everyone's got their opinions, sympathizes to this side or that side, or who's lying and all this. But she was very down the middle, and I'll really want to applaud her for that, because with something like this, I mean, it's hard to believe the Jackson side of things, that this is all made up for money.
I know. Here's the thing. I wish the best upon anybody. But I
want to bring this to Britney. I want to bring this to Britney because Wade apparently was the one that slept with Britney and broke up Justin and Britney and that whole thing way back when. And they talk about, and this will apparently come up in the documentary as well, Michael's obsession with Britney Spears.
I had no idea about any of this.
Yeah, he apparently was like really into her and trying to get Wade to connect them. And they did end up going, I think it was like the 2002 MTV Video Music Awards together, Britney and Michael, and they presented or something.
Didn't Michael Jackson used to be obsessed with like Brooke Shields? Like, he just likes pretty people.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's something so childlike about Michael Jackson that anything he does is just like, because I feel like his youth was taken away. So there's this huge psychological thing that they're going to explore, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the director claims it's going to be about the two men who were, it's really about them. He says it's not about Michael, and I guess that's how we can get around all of it. But the Jackson estate isn't really buying that, and they're suing HBO and Time Warner, $100 million lawsuit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so, and some of those Jacksons could really use that money. Just saying.
Not LaToya.
I like LaToya. Is that bad?
No.
Is that bad? No. How come I feel like she's the only innocent one in the mess? Oprah is getting in on this whole thing.
Yeah,
with
I'm recording
Jackson.
that too the next night, right?
Yeah. So
that's only an hour.
This is a special on OWN immediately following the second part. And she's speaking with the director, Wade and Jimmy. And she had an audience of about 100 people. All were sexually abused as children.
Oh, wow.
So she really is taking a position with this, as she should.
Well, I think Oprah's made it known that she was, as a child, sexually abused, right? Yeah. So I think it's, right up OWN's.
This is going to be a big moment for her. And I'm really interested to see how Oprah handles this and what she says. And this is kind of the first time she's getting everyone together. I'll be watching, and I want to know what people think about it, because it's going to be a big one. I have a prediction.
I agree.
So let's completely change gears.
Yes.
And I want to learn more about you and hear more about you. You told me that you are a personal assistant to a director and an actress. Now, that's unique. I have a friend who does that for an actress, and it's a very demanding job. I mean, he travels with her and takes care of her family. I mean, it can be a lot. I mean, tell me about what goes into being a personal assistant.
I'm very, very lucky. It's a married couple, and it's a family, and I've been with them for 12 years.
Wow.
I'm so spoiled and so lucky to be a part of their lives. It's, it has its moments, but I mean, it's not like The Devil Wears Prada. I mean, like, sometimes I've worked with him on sets and stuff, and it's been like 9 months, but the grueling part is like, the hours really, but he's so nice. Again, just incredibly lucky.
Yeah.
Because you see it and you hear nightmare stories, but in my life, I have not experienced any of that.
So what are some things that you do like day to day? Like, what do you oversee?
Well, when the girls were younger, the wife, Dina, she was very much involved
Not
in the
Dina
schools.
Lohan, right?
Dina Lohan. No, no, definitely not Dina Lohan. She was very involved in the schools. So it used to be they were public schools. So she'd get very, she'd give back and have these big fundraisers, and we'd be very engrossed in what's going on at the school. And then her husband, Mark, when he directs a movie, like if I'm on set or, if I'm there. So it's like I work with either one or the other, and I guess both of them at the same time. So
can you say who they are?
Oh, sure. It's Mark and Dina Waters.
Cool.
Very awesome couple.
That's great, and rare to find such good people. Not only one but two. I know that, and it seems like you have a good gig with them.
Yes, they're very grounded, very down to earth people.
And I know you're super into horror. Horror, the genre of film.
Yes, I love horror films, all of them. Also, I saw Greta last night. It was good.
Oh, yeah. What's that about?
It's about Chloe Moritz, who was Carrie.
Oh, yeah.
In the remake. She meets this older lady who's obsessed with her, and she won't let her go. It's kind of like Single White Female, but with an old lady.
Yeah. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like now is a good time to watch. There's a lot out there. I don't know if it's any good, but there's a lot of horror films being produced.
My standards for horror is so low. I will see anything that comes out. Well, I mean, if there, if it gets like a Paramount release or, any big company, I want to see it. Like, if there's some money behind it, and I love a big budget horror film.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I understand you put together a short horror film.
On the other spectrum, it's a low budget short, and it's a short, but I'm so proud of it. My friend Matt Emmer and I put together this horror film. He wrote it and directed it, and I was lucky enough to star in it. But it's called Come In, and it's about three guys that are on a dating app, and one goes just simply on a torso picture, and my character Curtis thinks that that's not the best idea. So see what chaos ensues.
Is it channeling like the opposite of Get Out by Come In? Is that that a play on words?
No. That's just a sheer coincidence. We didn't.
Plenty.
Yeah. But it's a good time. I mean, remember it's a short, so you only have 14 minutes to establish characters and action. And everything.
That's very hard to write. I'm a long range writer. If I'm ever to write anything, it's like serialized, long. So to write something short and to establish and have an arc that's a lot of work.
Matt did a good job. He made the script like it flows. He did a good job. And, I haven't, done any acting lately. So it was kind of like a quick boot camp.
Yeah.
And the dialogue just flows. So
when and where could people find Come In?
Hopefully we will get into some LGBT / horror fest and people can come see it. Or maybe after
you're actively submitting to festivals?
Yes. It's being edited as we speak, but it should be done in a matter of days. So,
cool.
Yeah. I'm very, very excited about it. I hope everyone loves it.
Nice. Well, thank you for ranting with me.
Oh my gosh, I had so much fun ranting.
Yeah. And I want to say I have not covered Jordan Woods and that Red Table Talk or any Kardashians, and you're welcome.
Thank
I
you.
will not give them a platform.
I will. Just kidding.
Thanks again. Where can we find you? Anything else?
I'm on Twitter, Instagram. What else is there? Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Oh, it's the Tim Murdock, because apparently there's a Tim Murdock out there. I had to add the.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love you guys for listening, and I am planning a big month for Grants Rants in the month of March. So stay subscribed, hang out, and as always, I'll be back with more rants. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
This has been Grant's Rants. Support the Rant on Patreon at patreon.com/Grant's Rants. Follow Grant on Twitter and Instagram at It's Grant's Rants. Cover art created by RHONJ. Voiceover by Original theme music by Alexander Arntzen. The Grant Michael Collection.